Oh, you got the Doc's new book?
Yeah.
Okay.
So far, I've only been to the peptide chapter.
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
Yeah.
We need to get him on and go over some peptide stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the book. I mean, last time I was in his office, I seen his little layout he had of it. And
Yeah, I have it. You can use it. I already went through it. I've gone through the highlights of it, but I can bring it to you.
okay, I'll just buy one. I'll support the man's thing. Just buy one.
Okay.
No, he's good, man. He's very informative.
Yeah. So real quick, well, I guess before Ian gets on, we can talk. JP, did you see? Do you follow Chris Dim?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Chris Dim.
Yeah, he was on the show. How long ago was he on, Ryan? About a month ago or so?
Yeah, a couple months ago, probably.
A couple months ago, yeah. Yeah, he's having some more health problems. He announced today that he's in kidney failure. Amongst a million other things that he's got going on.
Yeah, that's
unfortunate. I can even find him here, so obviously I do not follow him. No.
Yeah, it's with a K. Chris. What's his thing here?
DIM.
Yeah, it's what's IFBB Pro. Chris Dim is his handle here.
Okay. Oh, I seen that somewhere today. That video.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's terrible.
And the guy's had a lot of unfortunate incidents through his career.
Man.
Was he in a wheelchair?
Yeah, he was. Jason, what started? I mean, his story. What was the main causing factor that started it all off? Was it a stroke?
I thought he was in a car accident. No,
was it a car accident? Because then he eventually had a stroke, right? And that put him in.
Yeah, he had a stroke. It was the second surgery that paralyzed him, I think.
Yeah,
the second heart surgery when they had to go in through the back, around the spine and all that stuff.
No, he was a good bodybuilder too, man.
Yeah,
I can tell. Yes, incredible. That's just terrible.
Yeah,
it's not the guy who. Hawaii used to have only like really one good bodybuilder for many, many years during the 90s, early 2000s. That's not him. Huh?
I don't know. He was in Venice. Was he in Venice, Jason?
He was. He's in California now. I don't know where he's at in California. I can't remember where he said he's at.
I remember in the 90s, it was late 90s, early 2000s, he turned pro, correct? Yeah, and he was very impressive.
Yeah. I mean, he's still very positive. I mean, if you watch his video, he's still very humble.
Right. That's great.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll come back on the show if we ask him. I can ask him. Come on and talk.
Yeah. Did they bring up any mention to what caused the kidney failure? Or?
No, he didn't say. All he said was that he's at 7%. Yeah. And his dialysis takes about 4 hours, he said.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Yeah. What the Romania show, was that last weekend?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. That was
it Samson Dauda that won that?
Rafael Brown.
Yeah. Samson won the week before.
Yeah.
Rafael, he won.
Yeah, Samson got second on this one.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Baruz Tabani, I don't know him.
Yeah, was he the guy that third place, correct?
Yeah.
Was he the one with the crazy condition?
He was in great condition, yes. Full straighted ass, pretty nice.
Yeah, no, he was conditioning was phenomenal.
And I saw that Molnar placed second. No, he didn't win the classic. Huh?
Yeah, I saw that as well.
Did you know that Molnar won over 100 bodybuilding shows?
What's that?
Peter Molnar.
Yeah.
He won, I think, over 100 bodybuilding shows.
Yeah, he's been competing for a long time. I mean, he's been around forever. And he, I believe he was a PCA pro too as well, right? Right,
Mhm.
Jason?
Yes, he was.
And when Ian comes on, I know Ian
Mhm.
knows, and
Mhm.
he's competed with their organization too and done really well.
Ashley won another show. How many is that for her now?
Number 30, yeah.
30? Is that what it is?
Yep,
Mhm.
she's like, yep, she was like right on, tied with Dexter, wasn't she?
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Wow. I mean, how many shows did she win this year? She was like raking them in all towards the beginning of the year, and she was winning everything.
She was tied with Ronnie Coleman for a little while, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Well, Dexter had what, 28, 29?
29. Yeah, he was one shy of 30. So now she has 30, or she's,
Yes, she has 30. Yes, Ronnie has
Wow.
like 23.
gosh,
Yeah.
how many did she win this year that added to her account? Because I know she did a ton of shows this year.
Yeah. She was doing them like every week for a while.
Yeah, and she was winning at the
Mm-hmm.
beginning of the year.
Yeah. She's got 1 million followers.
But there's not really an easy bikini show. There's always a ton of competitors. Go.
Yeah, yeah. They're
Oh
always
yeah. Even at the amateur level, I mean, you know, the state they're stacked.
Yeah.
You never see a very low bikini turnout.
No. Jean-Pierre, you work with a lot of bikini athletes, don't you?
I do, yes. And
Yeah.
that's placed in Romania. I love her physique. Alison Testu. I think she has a legit shot to be at least in the first call out next year at Olympia.
Nice.
Another girl which has had a little bit too many muscles, and she's really tuning that in right now to what they want to see. And she's now like second in Romania. She was now when you come from Europe, nobody knows who you are, and you place 12th at the Olympia. That's usually pretty good. You know?
Yeah. Wow.
So, yeah, looking forward to next year.
Yeah.
Well, I guess apparently there was a I don't want to say a blowout, but something to do with it. You see, I posted that GoFundMe for Sean Roden.
Yeah.
That's circling around. Apparently, that didn't go over very well with Sean's family.
Right. Was it it was a GoFundMe for his daughter, correct?
Yes. And they had to take it down. Guy's sister Nino posted a video. He actually had it. He didn't post it, but I guess somebody posted it and gave him access to it, so he had to go in and take the money out and give them what was in there and shut it down. And basically, the family was like, I guess the brothers. He has two brothers.
Right.
Were just like, run anything by them first before, you know. I guess he hasn't even had the funeral yet. So,
Gotcha.
yeah, they said, you know, let us at least have the funeral before we even start any of this stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So that's the reason why it was. If anybody's looking for it, that's the reason why it's not up anymore.
Gotcha.
So, but I think it hit like 20,000 in just a little bit of time it was up.
Yeah, man.
So
It's a good thing, although I'm usually a little bit skeptical of the GoFundMe stuff, but yeah, I mean, if the family asks for different, but I'm very split on that, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm very on any of those donation things that come across. I'm, you know, a little skeptical on some of them.
Yeah, and unfortunately, there are a lot of people out there who are just crooks, and they'll take advantage of any opportunity they can to make $1 and put $1 in their pocket. So,
Also, I've sometimes a little bit trouble with medical expenses. You know, I mean,
yeah,
if you're poor, you should get free healthcare, and if you're not, you have healthcare. I mean, I'm always a little bit puzzled about that. You know,
right. Yeah,
hey, I had an accident. I need money now. You know, sad, but it's just always puzzles me a little bit.
right. Yeah.
Make sure Ian's okay.
All right. He's having technical difficulties.
Yeah, I can't get the bloody thing to work, mate. Oh man.
Now, is the IFBB season, is it completely done now, or are there a few more shows left?
Well, professionals, I don't know, but there is the Masters Nationals in Arizona in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, they're always giving out quite a few pro cards.
And also the NPC Nationals are here in Orlando in a few weeks as well. 2 more weeks,
Yeah.
I believe.
The Nationals there. Yeah, there's this the Thomas Year guy is finally going for the pro card. Thomas, what's his name?
Oh yeah, he looks crazy. Carlos Thomas, something like that.
Correct. I'm waiting for years for him to finally compete. You know.
Mhm.
Yeah, looks like he's working with Patrick Tour, right?
Correct. So
Yeah.
remember, he was announced to do the 2019 North American, and then
Right.
just dropped out in the last second. You know.
Right. Yeah. He has a physique that if he brings it, I mean, he's gonna be hard to beat. He's like pro level physique.
Yeah, I mean the arms. I never seen anything like it. Almost like Phil Heath stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, his proportions, just all of his proportions, his legs, his quad sweeps are huge. His shoulder to waist ratio when he hits his front double are kind of nutty. His arms are just wacky too.
Yeah, it's all about conditioning, and if he brings that, nobody's
Yes.
going to be. There's another crazy new German guy. You know, they kind of talk about him finally being able to fill that void since Dennis James retired. I don't know his name right now, but he's competing for a pro card in Denmark this weekend.
Oh, really?
Seems very tall. Let me see if I find his name. The guy is absolutely stunning. He's trained by Roland Churlock.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
Roland, he's still around, huh?
Oh, he has a fantastic team, and
Does
his
he?
people are in unbelievable shape pretty much every week.
Gotcha.
Kind of like he used to be, you know, but except the last couple of years, he was always in crazy shape. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I remember all the magazines that when I would open up and see him, he was just always hitting that most muscular nutty with his chest just completely striated across. And
Yeah.
Sorry, I was late, guys.
What's up?
Ian, what's going on, man?
Doing all right?
Yeah, good. You?
Good, man. Good.
Running late with a client. I apologize.
Oh, no worries.
Oh, Jason's got his PCA shirt on.
Oh, yeah. Every time I do rack pulls, I wear this. I think of you.
Oh, dear. What did I miss?
I forgot about the rack pulls, man. That's a
Yeah, we haven't brought that up in a while.
What did I miss?
Oh no, we're just talking. I talked a little bit about Chris Dim. Were you on when we interviewed him, Ian?
Who?
Chris Dim.
Yes, me
Yeah.
and you did it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He just posted that he's in kidney failure.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. He wasn't. Didn't sound good. I mean, he's positive, but he's going through a lot of stuff right now. So.
Oh, it seems like every day there's something new, isn't it? It's crazy.
It is. It is. We were just talking, and we were talking about some bodybuilders and stuff that we hadn't seen in a while. Or Jamie Christian, what happened to him? Is he still competing?
Jamie Christian. I don't
Yeah,
know.
the one they call the Giant.
Oh yeah.
He's from the UK.
he competed earlier this year, didn't he?
Did he compete? I don't think he competed.
This year, I thought he competed earlier in the year.
I'm trying to find him on here. I did follow him.
Is he like what 6'5"?
Yeah, he's 6'5".
It's crazy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really tall bodybuilders now. And back in the day, the only real tall one was Ralph Muller. Remember him?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's the one I was just talking about who's pretty certain going to win the pro card this weekend. His name is Dennis Reinhold. He seems also quite a bit over 6 foot.
Mhm.
German.
German, yeah, the guy is unbelievable.
Did you compete with Quincy Taylor? Either one of you guys?
I did not. He came
No.
after.
Yeah, he was tall. He's like 6'4", 6'5".
He was tall.
Well, how tall was Gunther?
6'2".
6'2"? Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Rolf when he went to the Olympia. He looked crazy in the prep, not at the Olympia itself. I mean, I think they did some crazy stuff to load, but yeah, he was great. He was great when he came from a business aspect. I mean, the guy as a bodybuilder had a contract with Mercedes, stuff like that. You know?
Wow.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah, he was good. He's one of the first guest bosses I seen. The guy could talk, and I seen him recently in a German crime show. You know,
Oh, really?
all over the place. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. He was beating my very good Francois Gay for the pro card, the Miss Universe in Tokyo. I think it was 1986. Rolf won, and then Francois Gay, my friend, placed second. Francois then went on to become amateur. No, Mr. Olympia, natural Mr. Olympia.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. So yeah, looking forward
The
to that.
88 Olympia, didn't it? The year Berry came in really good.
Say again.
Ralph Muller did the 88 Olympia, the year that Berry DeMay came in really crisp.
Was that the year he placed? He was at Olympia.
I'm not sure where he placed, but that's the only Olympia I see. I remember. seeing
Yeah,
him.
he's the only one he competed in. Yes.
Yeah, he looked great though, and I know he went into acting then because he was in Gladiator, wasn't he?
Correct. He was one of the 5, 6. Yeah, he was the tall one there. Yeah, he was like 2 meters. So what is he? 6'7", 6'8"?
Yeah, it was ridiculously big.
Uh,
Like back in the day, everybody used to think that really tall bodybuilders like that just couldn't do well because the frame was too big. But now, that theory is getting proven wrong because there's all these massive guys. You know who Josh Maley is?
no.
Josh Maley is a pro, a PCA pro and a NABA pro out of England. And he's actually, you find him on Instagram. I think Josh is about 6'5", maybe 6'4", but he's on Instagram he's called the Viking because he has a big long beard.
I
I
know
think we
you.
pulled. I think we
Josh.
pulled him up before.
Josh_Maley, Maley. I saw him win the tall class NABA Universe in 2016. In fact, my training partner at the time was competing against him, and he's just incredible bodybuilder, just a monstrous legs, just a really, really good quality physique. Like I say, for such a tall guy, I mean, you see him on the bench doing exercise. He makes the bench look like a little. Yeah, there he is. I mean, look at his back. I mean, he's a great bodybuilder. Great guy. I've got a picture with him somewhere when I went over for the Saxon Classic in. I think that was 2018.
He's a big boy.
Yeah, he's really big. Great bodybuilder, good guy. Yeah, it's pretty cool. 6'6", there you go, he's 6'6".
6'6".
Yep, 6'6". Yep.
He won the NABA Universe in 2016. Very, very impressive physique. Yeah, it's cool. I don't know what changed, but it's good. You know, I've been to a few expos over the last few years, and you know, I look across and you see these monsters walking around. And I used to be tall for a bodybuilder. How tall are you, Jean-Pierre?
5'11" and a half.
Yeah, so like I'm like 6 foot, and we were like tall for bodybuilders, right? Back then, we were some of the taller guys.
Mm.
Here's the one. Here's the one JP sent me.
Okay, man.
Good.
He's real wide. He's some wide,
Mhm.
round delts.
How tall is he?
I don't know, but I just seen Roland standing next to him. Roland is probably 5'9". This guy must be 6'2", 6'3" at least.
Oh wow.
So the only guy who used to be taller than me was Paul Dillette.
Yeah. Yeah, Paul Dillette was what, 6'1"?
6'1", 6'2". Yeah, he was the only one taller than me.
Yeah. His
An old English saying, a good big one will always beat a good little one.
Paul's got that WBFF doing pretty good, huh?
WBFF, which is that?
That's is that what Paul has? What he runs?
Yeah, he's the president of the WBFF.
Yeah.
That's the organization.
Yeah, they don't do any bodybuilding though, do they? It's all
No, they do like
Modeling kind of.
yeah,
Yeah.
modeling kind of like the men's like with the I think they do the shorts and then they do like the Calvin Klein stuff or something.
yeah, it's like
I've been-
it's got a muscle model.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to one WBF show that I had a client competing in, and it was very different. Put it that way, just very different. Yeah.
Was it a
Yeah.
male or female that was competing, Ryan?
My client was a female, so she was doing the Fitness Divas round or whatever that was.
They wear like wings and stuff.
Yeah, they create costumes, and they'd have like 3 or 4 different different rounds, evening gown, bikini round,
It's
and
an interesting concept. It's obviously quite successful.
Ryan did it. He's just not telling you.
all right.
He did the Tommy Hilfiger class.
Yep. Secrets out.
The Zoolander.
After my wife and I decided kind of together not to compete in bikini shows anymore, she then tried to convince me to go to the WBF. But I don't want to pay for those dresses.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot. There's
I think you have to buy, like, the men have to buy the suits and the women have to buy the dresses from a certain place. I think it's top dollar. I don't think it's for people that they've kind of gone the opposite way that the PCA have. And we've tried to make competing cheaper. And I think they've tried to make competing very exclusive and very expensive. And I guess it's not a cookie cutter thing. Everybody's got something that fits them differently. It's not one federation fits all.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely went a different route to his bodybuilding career, didn't he, Paul? I mean, Paul was a monster, and he's not promoting monsters at all. He's promoting the model side of it, like I say.
He doesn't do interviews either. I haven't really seen him on anybody's show. I've reached out to him a couple times. He's never responded.
Interesting.
I give him a try. It would be interesting to talk to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've seen him do one interview with Sean Ray one time. I believe it was on Sean Ray's show.
Yeah, where he does that one where are they now type ones that he was doing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
I think I did the very first one.
Oh, did you?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't seen
Did
that.
you see all the heat that Sean Ray's getting for his comments about Sean Roden?
Yeah, everybody's been bashing him. I know Greg Valentino went off on him for about 30 minutes the other day.
Right.
I know Chris Aceto, the real technician, he's very unhappy with him. Rightly so. I mean, rightly so. Yeah, it's.
And he came out with an apology, and I don't think anybody really accepted that very well either, because it didn't seem.
Well, that was almost more disappointing to me than
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was trying to just pass it off, and
I don't think that was a real apology. I think that was a scripted piece of paper that someone told him to read. Personally,
right.
Oh, I think somebody at the IFBB made him do it.
probably.
It's like, hey, if you want to be a part of these organizations, part of these shows, you probably need to say something.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I can't believe anybody would say something about someone when they've just passed away like that. I mean, like I've seen a few people say, I saw an interview where Dave Palumbo, he had Sergio Olivier Jr. on, and Lee Priest and John Romano, and they were all in agreement. Like, it's kind of, bodybuilding's always been a niche sport. It's quite a close knit community, and why would you bash someone when they've just passed away like that? It's just it don't seem right. It's just not a very nice thing to do, but such is life, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm sure if I passed away, somebody would be bashing me too.
It's just our society now. It's how everybody has opinion about everything. It's you see these trials going on, people getting arrested, they automatically being convicted before they even go to trial.
I know.
It's
That's
sad. I don't have to mention which one we're talking about, but
Right.
no, it's ridiculous.
yeah.
I don't know. It's just we shouldn't probably get onto a political tangent because it's supposed to be a bodybuilding podcast, but it seems like the world's going mad at the moment. It really does.
Most of the ones, I think most of the ones saying the negative stuff are the ones that aren't in bodybuilding.
Yeah.
John Ray's in bodybuilding.
Yeah, well, Sean Ray's in his own category, but yeah, I'm talking like you see the negative comments in Sean Ray's posts and stuff, and everybody's talking about gear and yada yada yada. Most of those people aren't anybody that competes or knows anything about it. So.
True. I don't even know why they're on those forums. I don't even know why they're they get into the conversations where they obviously don't train or they don't compete.
Oh.
Nothing about taking gear. They try, you know, they try and blame everything on steroids. I mean, like all these recent deaths, you know, the media tries to blame it all on steroids, and it's not just steroids. It's about many different factors. There's a lot of different things. You know, why are there so many more deaths this year than every other year? I mean, what's different about this year than every other year?
But I'm wondering about, are there, or is it just more people we know?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I think it's a lot more people that we know of in our industry, but you know, the same supplements have been being used for how many years? 10, 20
Exactly.
years.
Exactly.
So I don't know. It's real strange to see so many people in the past year and a half just passing away, though.
You know what, though? I was talking to my brother yesterday, and he was telling me that it's not just bodybuilding. That apparently in England, that, you know, soccer's a big sport in England. I'm sure it is in Switzerland. But apparently there's a lot of soccer players that have died this year of heart-related incidents.
Yeah, Steve Brisbois sent me an article on that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I talked to him. He was going to come on the show tonight, but he had some kind of fundraiser. But he sent me a little piece on all the soccer players and stuff dying over there.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. I mean, I don't know, but I don't think you can just blame drugs. I think it's a lifestyle thing. I think, and maybe there's other factors involved too. But I don't even know how we got into this subject. We started talking about tall bodybuilders, didn't we?
Yeah. Well, it's just, you know, we're talking about bodybuilding in general. Just yeah, that's great. It's in the spotlight right now. So you know, as soon as you see it, everybody's clicking on it. It's just like, you know, in my line of work with police shootings, you know, every time there's always been hundreds of police shootings across the county or across the country. I'm sorry. But now all of a sudden you hear about every single one of them.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I can tell you they've been around forever.
Yeah. In the time that we're in, I mean, with all the social media outlets that we have, everybody has a forum to have a voice. So you'll take the typical narcissist. They're going to say good, bad, whatever. They don't care. They just want the attention. So when you open up a forum for anybody to just say whatever they want, then you're going to have those type of people who are just going to badmouth any and everything they can just to get a little limelight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, usually, you know, when I read negative comments about myself, 99% of the time I don't get involved. This week, I saw that my sister got quite involved in my defense. I was posting some pictures on a pretty big Facebook page from Germany, and then it's always the usual. But he's thin now. He's done. He doesn't look like he's working out, which is all not true. It all comes back from one picture taken in 2002 or 3. You see it all over Google when I had kind of a phase where I really wanted to be a lot smaller and got into swimming. So my sister got quite passionate about it. So I got myself involved also. You know. But usually you just can't, you know, I can't get involved into that stuff.
Yeah, no, you can't give it attention. You just got to let it die.
Yeah.
That's one thing that annoys me is, like, you know, these people start talking about bodybuilders like myself and Jean-Pierre, and Ryan, you're still pretty big, but like, you know, well, you are now, Jean-Pierre, but like I've lost a lot of weight. I'm like 220 now compared to when I competed at, like, I used to compete at 280. But why would I want to be 280 still? I have no desire to be. I don't want to eat that amount of food. I don't want to. My goals are completely different. I don't want to take anything anymore. I have no desire to compete. So why would I want to be 280? You know, I mean,
we all know that, but you know, there's those kids out there who just don't get it. You know?
Yeah.
That's why I did then comment on it. I say to him, once I saw my sister was so passionate about it, and he then went back and forth. I said, I would prefer me to see maybe 280 and that. I understand that, but you know, for me, it's way more important to be healthy.
Yeah. And see, 9 times out of 10 of those people that are leaving comments, they don't know what it's like to walk around at 280, 300 pounds. So they're just, you know, they have this picture of us and how we should look all the time, but they don't know what it's like to maintain that for, you know, let alone, you know, a year, 5 years, 10 years. It's just not doable. It's it's not healthy, and it's extremely, it's extremely unhealthy for your body.
I was 282. I was 282 this morning, by the way.
Like blowing up,
I
man.
said I was 282 this morning. I would have
How
shrunk.
tall are you, Jason?
I'm 6'4".
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
so
a little bit more.
I should be 350 if I,
Well, if you want to be like a large competing bodybuilder, yeah. But I mean, to walk around, I used to walk around at like 320 off season. I used to compete at like 275, 280.
Mhm.
But to me, honestly, it was the amount of food that I got. But I got sick of eating. You know, I never got sick of training. You know, I didn't really want to take gear, but you know that people always try to say it's all about the gear. You stop taking gear so you lose all the muscle. It's not. It's you don't eat 8 times a day anymore. You eat maybe 4 times a day or 3 times a day.
Yeah.
And instantly you're gonna downsize because you're taking a lot less calories. And along with that, because you're not trying to be as big, you're not gonna push each set to complete failure and do force reps and negatives. And you know, just from a health point and from a motivation point, why would you train so hard and eat 8 times a day if you're not going to get on stage? I mean, just didn't make any sense, you know?
No.
Yeah.
But Ryan, remember we talked about that when I brought Dexter up, how small he'd been getting.
Right.
And you said that he wasn't a big eater.
Yeah, no, he was very very open about how much he hated the food part of the sport, having to eat. You know, and if it was all about just, you know, the gear alone, you go to any gym around the world,
You pull him up and you see how
there's going to be, you know, there's a good huge portion of people in the gyms that are taking, you know, PDs. And do they look, do they look like, you know, professional bodybuilders? No. And the majority of the people in there are taking probably more than I myself or either one of you took. So
see,
I know personally, it's just ridiculous.
See how small he is now?
Well, he's probably,
He still looks good, but
you know what's funny about that? I don't know if I ever told you this. I actually prepped a very good friend of mine for a show in North Carolina, Greensboro, North Carolina. And I'm not sure what year it was, but Dexter was guest posing and I'd never met him. So I walked up to him to congratulate him for, you know, for looking so great and, you know, just to introduce myself. And I walked up to him and he looked up, he was sat down, he looked up at me and he went, "Damn, you got small." That's all he said to me. He didn't shake my hand or nothing. He just said, "Damn, you got small." And I just went, you know what? I came over here just to say hello. I didn't come over here to get into a pissing contest.
Yeah.
And I just walked away. I'm like, you know what? What goes around comes around. Now
it's your chance to say it,
now
Ian.
you've got small.
isn't it the inevitable? I mean, especially, you know,
I mean, like I say, why would you want to walk around at 280 or whatever your body weight is? Your top body weight, where you're pushing your body's boundaries. Why would you want to walk around like that just to please everybody else? No, sorry.
right.
You know, it's a health thing, and you've got to, you know. Another thing I always said, you know, the time and effort that us bodybuilders we put into competing, the workouts, the food prep, the actual eating, doing everything, sleeping at certain times, having muscle naps, all of that dedication. If you put that same dedication into a business, you'd be a multi-millionaire.
Yeah.
But money was never a driving force for me. You know, I mean, it was always the pursuit of trying to be the best in the world, just like you guys. You know, it's but you can't do that forever. You know, everything's got a shelf life.
Yeah. Yep.
What you're looking at now, Jason? You look deep in concentration.
Yeah, I posted questions. I'm going through them here. I want to see what questions I want to ask while you guys are talking. You're gonna like one of the questions for you, Ian.
For me?
For me, for you. I'll do that one last.
Okay. It's not pertaining to rack pulls by any chance, is it?
No.
Okay.
There's a couple of questions about Sean Ray. It says, should the IFBB cut Sean Ray? Is one of the questions.
The IFBB don't hire him, do
they? Doesn't he doesn't get paid by them when he does like the announcing and stuff at the Olympia?
I don't know. That'd be the actual Olympia. That'd be Jake Wood, wouldn't it? And the Olympia people.
Yeah, I think that's affiliated with Jake Wood with the Olympia.
Yeah, there's some supplement questions on here, but the doc, one of them was prebiotics versus probiotics. And he's
Not educated enough to answer that, really.
yeah, I guess I should have the doc on. Suggested dose for tests for a 40-year-old male.
Well,
It depends on where your own levels are, really. I think you need to
Mhm.
know where your own levels are before you
Mhm.
start suggesting a dosage. I mean, you could get 5 different 40-year-old males, all naturally got different natural testosterone levels. You might have one guy that's up to 800. They might have another guy that's 600, another guy that's 400, another guy that's 100. So obviously the guy that's at 100 would need a higher dose than the guy that's at 800.
Mhm.
What do you think, Ryan?
no, accurate. I mean, it also depends on the individual very much. I mean, what are they trying to accomplish here? I mean, are they competitive bodybuilders, or they just want to get to a good like TRT level?
Yeah, that's true. It's always when the doc's not here.
I know. You know, that's something I've never, you know, since I stopped bodybuilding, I've never taken anything as far as like running gear. I mean, I got my own test levels tested a few years ago, and it was like 400, which is quite low. But I don't really have any of the typical side effects from it that I know of, and I've never been on a TRT. I've never done. Maybe I need to speak to the doc. Maybe I need to. Maybe it'd be better for me if I did. You know, make a comeback.
Yeah, there you go. You and Lee Priest make your comebacks.
There you go. There you go.
Let's see. I think we kind of talked about this question. Let's see. He's actually a PCA guy. A lot of talk about diet issues linked to heart vascular disease. What about steroid use?
Who is it?
Brett Slice.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I know Brett very well.
Mhm.
I think that goes back to what we were talking about earlier, don't you? I mean, I think there's a lot of. I don't think you can blame it just on steroids. I think there's a lot of other factors involved. I really do, and I think hereditary, as well as food intake. One thing that Steve Brisbane actually brought to me was that Dorian mentioned this when we had Dorian on, that the actual amount of protein that you need as a non-bodybuilder is a lot less than you would imagine, you know, and very, very high protein amounts is not very healthy. I know now I only have maybe 1 or 2 meals with protein in a day, and I normally, generally speaking, I eat 4 times a day, but only 2 of those meals that have either fish or eggs in, or maybe a little bit of chicken, but I really don't eat that much protein. What about you guys?
What about red meat? Can you keep red meat out of your diet and still be a successful bodybuilder?
Oh, absolutely.
Of course.
You know, but again, you know, to answer those things, you know, when it comes to what causes the problems, you know, that like the doc said, and I'm convinced of that, body inflammation is the key here. You know, so what causes body inflammation? High protein, absolutely, but it's so easy to correct.
Yeah.
So if you have to eat all that protein, what you clearly do and should, when you want to build those kind of muscles, you just have to kind of also eat your veggies and eat your vegetables and get away from this rice and protein, you know, constantly 5, 6, 7 times a day. So then he was mentioning that's something interesting about 55% of people with heart attacks not having any high cholesterol levels.
Yeah.
And but then still that means then we have another 45% who do have high cholesterol levels. So that's definitely something which can absolutely be related to steroids as well. So it's absolutely the combo of all of it a little bit. And another thing is stamina. You gotta keep doing the cardio. You gotta keep being in shape and not just the muscle, you know, guy walking around. That's why getting to the maximum heart rate, doing sprints, very, very important, when you're this big. And the combination of all of that with some okay genetics, and I think you can survive that pretty well. Once you're done with competing, get off the protein, get off the big muscle mass, and keep training your stamina. And I think that's the best recipe to survive this.
What about psychologically? What do people get when you start getting small? How do you deal with that?
Well, that's something you have to discuss with a shrink, because it's so ridiculous. You have to mentally be prepared. I mean, I would not even want to be this big if I wouldn't have to work for it. I mean, it's just simply ridiculous. So it goes much further than that. I can hardly get people to get off cycle for a few weeks because they feel small. I have a good story about that. It's not that I was any better back in my days, and I had to go to LA to Vida's office, and I was off for like 6 weeks. So I was pretty much summoned in it, and I did not go to Gold's Gym during the day. I remember I went very, very late at night. In that time, in a green shirt, my girlfriend at the time took a picture of me in front of the house. Recently, I came across that picture, and it's absolutely ridiculous when you think about that monster guy with 325 pounds that hide during the day, not going to the gym because he's off steroids. So that's simply something that has to be done in the head. It's just if you have a problem with that, then you really, really need to solve that problem, and that's gonna be crucial. I mean, I really don't want to be big under no circumstance. I think it's, look at, for example, when Nasser died, he was still crazy big.
Was he? Okay.
Yeah. Was he still competing when he died or no?
No, but there was still, Stang constantly told me that, well, it might be going back, and so it's just absolutely ridiculous. You can never go back in time, if anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's your? Sorry, go on, Ryan.
No, go ahead.
What's your body weight now compared to when you were competing? How much lighter are you now?
I'm 230, 235. With a little bit too much body fat. I used to compete with 280. Maybe it would be better to compete with 270. But I am a heavyweight. You can tell when I take off my shirt. I was a heavyweight in my first show with 17. It's absolutely no doubt about that. And I often see guys on stage. And I think if you give me 6 months, I'll beat them in a real double biceps pose any day. So
Yeah.
So
you are a monster, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, absolutely.
What was your heaviest?
Monsters.
What was your heaviest off season, Jean-Pierre?
340.
340. Wow.
That was not smart under no circumstance.
No, I imagine you had trouble breathing and everything, huh?
No, that was not the problem, because I obviously did a lot of cardio.
Yeah.
It was just a little bit too much body fat, and that's at the time when my gut started changing, with wrong food choices. I remember I was seeing, I was guest posing in Madrid, at the Expo in Madrid, and Dorian was guest posing, usually heavy, 325. That was in 97, 98. And then I started this thing in my head that I got to go to 340. It's just an immature kid, not knowing really what he's doing. And there was a picture taken of me with 340 that ended up on the cover of a magazine, a small magazine in Germany. And I knew right when I saw that picture, that's not bodybuilding anymore. That's exactly at the time when my visceral fat really started exploding, and wrong food choices. That was my biggest problem. Too heavy, wrong food choices.
Right.
So, but with 320, I was in very, very decent shape. With 300, I was pretty much ready. So I'm just a typical heavyweight.
So now, do you do a lot of cardio now, and do you still train with weights, Jean-Pierre?
So back in the days, I did cardio all year. And what I always did, every cardio session, 4 times a week, 30 minutes, I did 2 sprints in every cardio, where I tried to touch the maximum heart rate.
What about now?
I always felt like if I'm capable of doing that, Yeah, it all came from a show I watched where a guy was breaking the 1 hour record in indoor bicycling. Tony Rominger, he did like 52, 53 kilometers an hour. So afterwards he came off the bike and you saw his heart rate during the whole hour. And he was always up there 185, 190. And afterwards he came off the bike and started giving interviews in 7 different languages. And I was so impressed by that. So I knew if I'm capable of getting to my maximum heart rate, I can train a lot harder.
Mhm.
You know, I can recover between sets. I don't have to lay on the floor for 10 minutes after a set of squats. And I still keep that, I still try to buy that with my clients today, you know, the sprints all year long. And it's nothing else than having a core and being able to go to the maximum RPM, you know, it can only be helpful.
Mhm.
Yeah, I did a lot of cardio. I always did.
Do you do cardio every day now?
Oh, if I say yes, my wife is going to kill me. I should. I have my phases where I do it every day, and then I start to kind of slack off a little bit. What is right now again? But yeah, I try to do 4 or 5 times a week. You know, I like the rowing machine. Yeah, let's say I try.
Right.
What I do is every time I work out, I start with cardio. Then after 30 minutes, I decide, do I walk out or do I do the weights? But I make sure I did the cardio.
Yeah.
So often I miss the weights then, but that's totally fine with me. I don't want to miss the cardio.
Smart.
That's kind of what I do. I do a bike ride, about a 7 mile, 6.5, 7 mile bike ride. I do it about 4 to 6 times a week. I don't go crazy. I don't sprint. I just go, you know, I push, but I don't go crazy. And then I get about three weight training workouts in a week. Again, not crazy ones. Just, you know, after my heart surgery last year, I'm more cardio inclined than I ever have been. I think I was never really into cardio. In fact, in '95 when I did the Olympia, I did my whole prep for that show without getting on a treadmill once. I didn't do a single minute of cardio for that show, and it was the best condition I ever competed in.
I never did cardio to burn fat for a show. I know I can diet. I just did cardio. I felt good, and I wanted to do my sprints. Yeah.
I think I was too lazy to do cardio. If I wasn't doing it to burn fat, then I didn't want to do it.
I remember my first workout. You know, this huge guy, he was light heavyweight champion of Switzerland. He was giving me the instructions. There were 2 old bikes on the corner of the equipment. So I asked him about the bikes, and he told me, if you touch those bikes, you will lose every muscle you built. He told me.
That was the attitude, though, wasn't it, of bodybuilders back then? I know when they used to ask me if I wanted salad, and I'd be like, my answer to that 99% of the time would be, I'm not a rabbit. I don't eat salad. I eat protein and I eat carbs. I don't eat salads. That's just not part of my, you know, to me, it was wasted. I used to actually say it's wasted calories chewing the damn stuff. It's all water. It's a waste of time. If I want water, I'll drink water. But again, I've got a different concept of it. I've got a different attitude towards it all now. But I was always not into salads at all, and not into cardio. I was a true ass bodybuilder, which is not the healthiest thing to do. But, you live and learn, right?
Yeah.
No, I was big into fruit and fats and early morning blood sugar and 2-hour post-workout blood sugar. And
Me too.
I was big into that stuff. pH already back then. Yeah.
You were doing pH back then?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, wow. I never did that. Did that.
So I always felt like that's why the guys in the 90s so much better than the guys in the 80s. Although better is, you know, relative. I felt like with the insulin blood that we knew clearly more than you guys did.
Yep.
Hey, while we're talking on food, you guys ever see this Liver King guy? He's on Instagram.
Liver King?
Liver King, or eats raw meat.
No.
Yeah, let me show you
Raw
this guy.
meat.
Let me show you this guy. He actually looks pretty good. This is him here.
Oh, I have seen him. I didn't know he ate raw meat.
Yeah, let me show you his clip here where he
Super
well, this
barbarian.
here's his egg. Here's his egg
Like a raw diet or
where he takes a shot of raw eggs. Let's see. Liver King just knocked back 50 eggs in 2.5 minutes.
50.
Yeah. Let's see. There he goes.
Now, what meats is he eating raw?
I'll show you the meats here in a second. All right, we see
Wow.
that. Let me show you the meats right here. For Liver King, it's thought of fresh raw liver, drizzle of maple syrup and sprinkle of salt. So he's showing you all the foods he eats. I can't put the audio on for some reason.
Raw
What is
bone
the-
marrow.
Mhm.
Oh my God, no.
The heck is that?
Wow.
Well, that's pretty much exactly the food I prep for my cats.
Yeah. Here he is eating something raw.
I add salmon oil, but it's the raw meat, the eggs, and
Again.
the salmon oil.
This is an organ. What organ is this?
Gosh. Is that a
Traditional peoples and early ancestral healers believe that eating the organs from a healthy animal would strengthen and support the health of the corresponding organ of the individual.
oh, Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Is he eating a testicle there? Is that what he's saying he's eating? That read if you read that.
Some Rocky Mountain oysters.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So
Uh,
did none of you guys in the early years eat bull testicles?
I
no.
can't say that I have.
Oh, I sure
Yeah.
did.
Oh, did you?
I always said you were a bit of a strange one, John Pierre.
Yeah. What's he eating
I
here?
heard about the early doping of the gladiators in the Roman Empire with the bull testicles. So I went to the butcher and he did give it to me. So I remember I left them out of the fridge for too long, came home and pretty much had to repaint my apartment and never touched them again.
Oh wow.
That's raw beef liver.
Lord.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
Hmm.
yeah, and it can be good.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny about it is he's the guy that'll come on and say, "I'm not taking the COVID shot."
Yeah.
I'm not put, I don't know what I'm putting in my body.
Lord have mercy.
I came across him a while back. I figured I'd show him to you guys.
Yeah, that's the first for me. That's just.
I mean, liver pills were big in the 80s when I grew up, when I started.
Yeah,
took
I remember
up-
seeing a lot of liver stuff
Yeah.
back in the 90s.
took up to 60 pills a day in
Mhm.
the early 80s.
I've got a funny story about that. I remember, first of all, do you remember liquid liver, Jean Pierre?
Liquid.
No, the one I had was in pill form. I
Yeah.
do not-
We used to drink liquid liver, but we also, I got up to, when I was about 15, 16 years old, and I was taking 120 of the double strength desiccated liver tablets, and they were huge. They were massive pills, and they were rough on the outside. They didn't go down easy. And I remember one day I'd been training out. I was probably 16 years old. I was working at the time. I left school because he left school earlier then. And I got home one day from work and I'd forgotten to take my desiccated liver pills for the whole day. I didn't take them to work with me. So I sat there. I had my typical evening meal, which was steak, ice cream, baked potatoes, and whatever else I could fit in, some oranges probably. And I went to bed and I literally took one pill at a time until I got 120 desiccated liver pills down. About a minute later, I sat bolt upright in bed and projectile vomited the whole thing into the corner of my bedroom.
Oh,
Well, I'm young, right? I don't have a lot of money. So I crawled over to the pile of vomit and I starts picking through it, pulling out the tablets because I didn't want to waste them because I didn't have a lot of money. As I'm picking them out of the vomit and retaking them, my mother walked in and she thought I had gone absolutely mental. In fact, I remember listening to them and they were going to call a psychiatrist on me. They thought I'd lost the plot. But that's how I used to tell that story all the time. It's a true story. I used to tell it all the time at seminars because I knew at that age how important protein was to growing. And if I threw it all up, then I had to get something back in me so I could grow that night from my workout. But I remember taking 120 of those damn things a day.
Yeah, my first 3 supplements was Rolf Möller's Muscle Tan. There was a multivitamin, amino fit, that thing, and Arnold Schwarzenegger protein. It tastes like chewing gum, and liver pills.
Yeah, liver was very. In fact, I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, we used to eat liver and kidneys all the time. That's what I mean. We had a typical diet in England was liver and kidneys.
Yeah, we had a lot of liver in our house. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Liver and onions.
Liver and onions.
I used to have that.
So that to a lot of people over here, and they think you've lost the plot.
Well, your mother was right.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But somehow my brother was a lot bigger than me. Still is.
Your brother?
Oh yeah, my brother's a big boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like
Is he a bodybuilder or no?
he's like 6'2". I think my brother's 6'2", and he's about 280 now, and he's 3 years older than me. But he just a big guy, just naturally a big guy. Yeah. I think that's what got me into bodybuilding, chasing him all the time.
Cool. Let me see. I'll ask this last question here for you, Ian. Why does Ian look like he's always pissed off when he sits in the chair on the podcast?
do I really look like I'm pissed off? Yeah,
This is what this is a question. Yeah,
that's my thinking face. Jason.
That's your thinking face. Okay, well, we'll let him know that. I'll let you figure out who asked that question.
It's probably somebody I know.
It is.
Having a dig.
It is. I'll give you a hint. It's one of your clients.
Shiraz, by any chance? Yeah. We got to have Shiraz on the show. We really did.
Yeah, I told him that we're gonna do a like a PCA one.
Cool.
As soon as Ryan and I get our particulars down, and we'll kind of just do it.
Yeah,
all
we
at
need
the
to
same
talk
time.
about that
Yeah.
tomorrow
Yeah.
if you've got time.
Yeah.
We'll get that hashed out, and I just want to try and get the whole seasons finalized. I've had a few more inquiries about some other shows in other states as well, so it's gonna be a good season. I'm
Yeah, I
excited.
see you've been posting a lot of new shows. So
Yeah, I think we've got 17 or 18 shows right now. So that's by far more than we've ever had. With the thing is, we started in 2018 with we had 2 shows, and then we took a team over to England for the World Championships. But then 2019 was our first full season. I think we had 10 shows in 2019, and then the pandemic hit in 2020, and then it completely shut us down. You know, we only had 1 season.
yeah.
And then obviously this year was a very limited season that we couldn't do any shows in any of the other states except Florida. So we only ended up with 4 shows, I believe, and then the finals. So it was a very muted season, if you know what I mean. It was a very tame season for us. But we've got a bit of freedom now, and we're back on track. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good year. It's going to be a really good year.
Ian, are you on the West Coast too?
I'm in Florida, yeah. Yeah,
So,
I'm in Florida. I'm on the East Coast, yeah.
But the shows, it's all over the country, or?
We haven't got many. The furthest one we've got right now is in New Mexico. But I'm looking, if anybody is interested in promoting a PCA show on the West Coast, then we would definitely do it. I just, I've realized that I need somebody with feet on the ground to promote a show in an area. So I need someone who's got a reasonably good way of marketing the show and is interested in it. And I don't really approach promoters; they kind of approach me. But we're growing very fast. I mean, the whole idea of the PCA is that we're trying to make it more affordable, and a lot of the other federations that have come out to try and, I guess, compete with the NPC, but that's really not what we're trying to do. We're just trying to give athletes another option, another viable option. And I don't know if you saw the standard of some of the athletes that competed in these last shows. Jason, did you see some of the pros we've got?
Oh, the
Some
one
of
you've been posting?
Yeah, we've got some really
Yeah, no,
high
yeah.
quality athletes. I mean,
Oh, they look really good.
It's really. I mean, it's world class. But no matter where you look at it, no matter where your loyalties lie, you can't deny that the athletes we've got really are world class. You know, and we're very proud of the standard that we have, and we're also proud of making it more affordable for athletes, not trying not to rip the athletes off or trying to charge them silly money. You know, at the end of the day, I think bodybuilding's a working class sport, not a rich man's sport. Obviously, it worked for Paul Dillett making it a rich man's sport because he's kind of gone to the other extreme, but we've gone to the other extreme. Our yearly membership's $50 and it's a full year from whenever you join. Entry fees is $50.
What about categories? Is all that like the NPC, or how does that work with the different categories?
We have different categories, but we just don't allow multiple crossovers like the NPC do. You know, I mean, I don't think it's good for the sport when you get one athlete winning 5 different classes. I think it's. I don't think the crowd want to see that either. But no, we have bikini. We do a division called train bikini, which is similar to wellness. Then we have 3 different figure classes: tone figure, athletic figure, and train figure. And train figure is basically women's physique. And then we do men's physique, but we offer more poses than the NPC do. And then we do bodybuilding, obviously, but we do height classes, not weight classes, a bit like NABBA used to do. And then we have the classic bodybuilding, but classic bodybuilding with us is more of a natural bodybuilding look, more of a Frank Zane type physique. It's not really really big bodybuilders. It's more about lines and, you know, balance and symmetry rather than size. So I mean, we do things slightly differently, and we judge things differently because we don't do a pre-judging and a night show. We do what's called a run-through show. So all the athletes in one class come out. We do all the compulsories, quarter turns. Then we do all the comparisons. Every athlete in every class gets a 60-second posing routine or free posing, and then we do a pose down in every class. And then while that pose down is going on, we assess the scores. And then we announce the results there and then, announce the trophies, and the athlete's done. That way, the athlete only has to peak once, and they don't have to buy tickets for the friends and family for the pre-judging night show. It's just one ticket. So, I mean, everything we do is all geared towards the athletes and saving the athletes money and making it an enjoyable experience, really. But, you know, it's we're totally fine with athletes competing in other federations. We don't mind that. We think I personally think athletes should be able to compete in whatever federation they want, whenever they want. Back like when Arnold used to compete in the NABBA universe, then go and compete in the IFBB. I think that's the right way to do things, but it got very political somewhere along the line.
Why do you think that is? Why don't they allow it?
It started off with Joe Weider. It all started. I mean, Joe Weider actually put. I think he sent Arnold a letter. And told a lot of the other guys that were coming over to England and competing in the NABBA universe that they could no longer compete with NABBA if they wanted to compete with IFBB. So it made it political. It was either them or us, you know, type of thing. And I don't agree with that. I don't think I understood why he did it. He did it to try and monopolize the sport, and he did just that for a long time. And nobody could really compete with that. But you know, times change and you know, the PCA worldwide is huge. I mean, we are honestly, hand on heart, we're the fastest growing bodybuilding federation in the world, and we're relatively new to the US, but we'll get there, and people will see what we do and how we do it differently.
When did
I don't know why it was made political like that. I really don't. I don't agree with it. I think athletes should compete wherever they want.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Yeah. And when did PCA start over in Europe?
It started, let me get this right. I think it started around 2014.
Okay.
Is when it actually started. Ryan Alexander started it in England. And then I didn't actually meet Ryan Alexander, but I went over to the NABBA universe in 2016 when Fabian Meyer was competing in the tall class with Josh Mailer, the guy that I mentioned earlier. And at that show, Ryan Alexander was there, and I contacted Ryan Alexander afterwards, and he was going to help me promote NABBA here in the US, along with Eddie Robinson, excuse me. And that's testament right there to Ryan Alexander and how open-minded he is.
Mhm.
He just loves bodybuilding, just like I do. I love the sport of bodybuilding. And I think, I don't think it should be monopolized by anybody. I think it should be open. And I think a lot of the other federations that have tried to compete or tried to offer a platform just didn't have the standard of athlete, or didn't have the organization, or they were doing things exactly like the NPC. They were charging the same fees, doing a pre-judging and night show. It was basically just a carbon copy of what the NPC do. And we don't do that. We do it very differently. And it's been a massive success. I mean, in South Korea, in South Africa, it's now the leading federation. It's really, really popular, and it's just you know, like I say, I don't think any one federation, including PCA, should monopolize anything. I think athletes should be able to compete wherever they want, you know. But I'm very proud of what we do. I really am. I'm very proud of what we do, and I'm excited for the future. I think I think 2022 next year is going to be a huge year for us. Really do.
Yeah, I think so too.
If we have a show on the West Coast, Jean-Pierre, I'd love you to come and see it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I really would. Maybe you get some of your clients to compete with us.
Yeah, sure. All right, guys. Well, that's all I got for this evening. Anybody got anything else?
Yeah,
Very
man.
good. I'll try and look a lot happier though for that question.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. We'll work on that, Ian.
We're gonna get. I've got some potential guests. I'll talk to you about, Jason, as well.
Okay. Yeah, we got some good stuff. I've got some people lined up too. We might have to switch a couple days here and there. I've got somebody pretty good that he really can't do Thursdays, maybe like a Wednesday. So
I'm good any day.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. It depends. I don't know about the Jean-Pierre and Ryan, but I
Yeah.
can do it any day.
This time of the day, fine, any day.
all right, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, around this time, I'm flexible at any time. So
Okay, good. All right, we'll figure it out.
Awesome.
All right, gentlemen.
Yep.
All right, have a good
Okay.
evening.
Catch you later.
Thank you.
All right.
See you later.